fans, welcome to another episode of the Cavs Pick and Roll podcast, a podcast for diehard Cavs fans. I am Corey. I am joined as always by Alex. How's it going, Alex?
Hey, it's going good. It's we haven't recorded in about a month. A lot of things have happened. I went to a Cavs game a while back, but so long ago, it's not worth talking about.
And I feel like I've been sick since the last time we recorded.
We both went on a vacation for spring break, and
We
now
did.
we're back.
We did. I went to enemy territory, Alex. I went to Indianapolis and a lot of Indiana Pacer fans out there.
Oh, I was gonna
Um,
say I don't even know if they really play basketball in Indianapolis, but
they don't got anything to be too excited about this year. What a
yeah, I
difference
don't
a
think they
year
have any
makes.
fans at least anyway, right?
No, actually, I saw plenty of people wearing Pacers gear,
I bet.
and what's funny is they have a minor league baseball team, and they're called the Indians. Believe it or not, I forget what the city like. It had something in front of it, but it was something Indians, and I was just like, huh. The minor league team can still have Indians, but our Cleveland baseball team can't be called that anymore, I guess. So that was interesting, and
Shame. It's a
yeah,
shame, Corey. A
it
shame.
is. It is. But yeah, time has flown by, and the regular season has finally come to an end, Alex. And I remember, almost a year ago when the Cavs playoff hopes ended, and all we wanted to do was get back to this point again. And it felt like it took forever to get here, and we're finally here. The Cavs finished the regular season at 50-32, which landed them the 4 seed, and they're going to be playing the Toronto Raptors, who got the 5th seed, which we'll talk about all that. But I want to kind of just do some justice with the regular season, Alex. Get your thoughts. How do we think this team looked, especially towards the end of the season? And now that they're going into the playoffs, do we feel confident? What do we see that we like? What do we see that we're still a little bit nervous on? The state of the team, health wise. Let's kind of get into all that stuff before we talk about the playoff matchup against the Raptors here.
Yeah, I mean it's a it's a long regular season, like you said,
Yeah,
uh, almost too long. It's kind of like a baseball season where there's so many regular season games that like it's almost like they don't matter for most of the season until you start getting close to the end. But yeah, it was a season with its ups and downs, right? Like we lost um we lost some players, we gained some players. The roster is almost completely different. We went through so many different starting lineups throughout the season. Overall, I thought it was a good season. It was an entertaining season, and I watched every single game. And yeah, it was. I couldn't ask for anything more. We had a little bit of drama. You
sure.
know, it was good.
Yeah, spice things up a little bit,
Absolutely.
and yeah, there was points of the season, Alex, where really this was before the trade happened and things started clicking a little bit better towards the end of the season. I didn't know if they were going to make it to 50 wins the way they were playing, and just all the injuries and different lineups and just all the issues this team had. So definitely a lot different than last year. Last year, they were what the Detroit Pistons are this year, just winning games, 60 something wins. And it didn't matter last year at the end of the day, right? The Cavs get eliminated, second round, Pacers, they're done.
Hmm.
So they had some, I guess we'll call it adversity in the regular season. It wasn't a cakewalk like last year because of everything we mentioned, players coming in, players going out, injuries, different starting lineups. I don't even remember what that final number was. They had to be in 30s or even low 40s as far as the amount of different starting lineups. And yet they got to 50 something wins and secured home court at least in the first round of the NBA playoffs. So I still will deem the regular season as successful. Successful.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The other thing I would say is Granted, they had one of the easiest schedules in the NBA the second half of the season, so we'll keep that in mind. But I looked before we started recording, and their last 20 games, 14-6, 14-6. Okay, definitely trending in the right direction, right? And on top of it, they are, unless Jared Allen is still kind of, I don't know. It was a couple weeks ago where he said he wasn't 100%. I haven't really seen since then. But for the most part, the Cavs are healthy. Jalen Tyson is back. Max Strus has been back for a couple weeks now. Um, uh, Jared Allen's been playing. Sam Merrill's back. Dean Wade's back. Like everybody's back, right? Which is great. So you're playing, I wouldn't say your best basketball this season, but you're playing very good basketball to close out the regular season. You are fully healthy, right? And you have a new dynamic weapon in James Harden on the offensive end. You have a defensive stopper in Keon Ellis. And just, man, you look at this roster now, Alex. We got to talk about this. I, I don't know what that playoff rotation is going to be, but man, Kenny Atkinson has a playing field here. Like he could play with a lot of different lineups here, which is not something that every NBA team has the luxury of being able to play so many different players that the Cavs can play.
Hmm.
Um, and that's what I'm most excited about now is to see it all come together in meaningful basketball, and especially when some teams get a little bit more physical with you. Try to get in your head. Will the Cavs elevate their play, both physically and mentally? Because the last couple years, that's been the bugaboo with them, and that's why their label has been soft, right? From a national NBA standpoint. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen now. But if I recap the regular season, I would say again it was successful, and hey, it gets to a point you were saying like the regular season's too long. It gets kind of not boring, but it's like the games don't matter.
Right.
That's the benefit of having a good basketball team. We have been fortunate for what this is year 4 now of playoff appearances with you know uh, a chance to make some noise in it. Right, we're not talking about what lottery pick are we going to get and are we going to get the right draft, you know, ping pong ball to go our way and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's good, man. I'm excited. I'm
That's
real excited.
always, these last couple weeks watching the games, that's always the weird thing about the NBA as it gets down to the end of the regular season, right? Like the last 2 weeks, the teams that are at the bottom and have no chance
Hmm.
at the playoffs, they're in full tank mode. And so they're tanking. The teams that are right above that are, you know, just whatever, like maybe trying to get into the play-in tournament to get into the playoffs, and then the teams right above that are the teams fighting, in the play-in tournament, and maybe they have a young team or they're in some sort of rebuild, and they're just trying to get their young guys some of that playoff experience. And then you got the next level of teams above that, which the Cavs are part of that, but they're the teams they were good all season. They think they got a chance of winning it all, and they're basically in win now mode, right? So like there's like different levels of brackets of teams and where they fit in strategy wise when they get to these last couple weeks of the season. Either they're playing real hard and trying to win and maybe trying to figure out what their seeding is going to be in the playoffs strategically. Who do they want to play? Who do they not want to play? Where do they want to finish at? So there's just a lot of strategy of, okay, should we try to win this game? Should we try to lose this game? And it's with just about every team in the NBA. So it's
I,
so weird, right? Like,
it is nice to not be in that scenario though that we were a couple years back with a young Darius Garland and the younger version of some of those players that we had at that time, where we were in a play-in tournament
mhm.
and we lost.
We
I
lost
remember
both
we
games.
lost both games.
Yeah.
So, and you're kind of that in between team. You know, we didn't land a number 1 draft pick next year, and we had to go home early. And not be part of the playoff experience. So it's tough to be those middle of the road teams, right? And that's where I mean, like, we've been fortunate the last 3, 4 years now. We haven't been that, right, since Donovan has gotten here. We've had disappointing playoff appearances, no doubt, but we're getting to the playoffs, and hopefully this is another year where the Cavs can continue to learn from past playoff appearances and finally get over some humps here. Um, a question I wanted to ask you, Alex, from the Cavaliers' standpoint, kind of again, just trying to wrap up the whole regular season. If you had to look at it in a complete season perspective, is there anybody who would you say on the Cavs roster impressed you the most this year?
Impressed me the most.
Yeah, like you're just like, man, if you had one guy that was just like, man, he really went above and beyond, or exceeded what my expectations were, or just, man, yeah, just he was a great fit, or just a great player for the team this year.
I think there's at least two, right? Like I don't know if I can choose one. That's tough.
All right, all right.
For sure, two immediately come to mind, and that's Jalen Tyson and Sam Merrill. I think both of them really stepped up this season. Jalen Tyson, he actually just kind of came out of nowhere.
He
I
did.
mean, due to injuries and
Yeah.
you know so many different lineups, and he started getting minutes, and he really took advantage of those minutes, and he became a force to be reckoned with on both defense and offense. Somewhere mid-season when his usage was really high, he got really good. And then after we made the trade and brought in Harden and Keon Ellis, and his usage wasn't as high, he kind of fell back down and disappeared again a little bit in the lineup. But for sure, Jalen Tyson's probably my number one. And then number two, like I said, Sam Merrill, like he really he actually brought the defense. He added defense to his game this season, and that helped him a lot. He was always that 3-point sharpshooter, but I mean now it wouldn't surprise me at all if he's in the starting lineup. That's how good he is this season.
Yeah, definitely. And with Merrill, the last game against the Wizards, the Cavs sat, half the roster, Merrill included, and they had the headset on a lot of different players, and the crew was asking them questions and stuff. And I think it was Brad Doherty who brought that up, like, your defensive tenacity and just effort just seemed through the roof this year. He's like, where did that come from? It's like, you always been known as a shooter, but where did you get that mindset, or how did you get in that mindset? And it was interesting because he said he felt like he always had that going back to his college days, and he just knows that he has to work on, you know, just as hard on the defensive end as on the offensive end, to basically get minutes in this league, right? Now, I'll admit I didn't see that same effort last year, or however many years we've had them. It definitely felt different this year, and maybe that new contract, maybe that extra confidence from the organization to give him those minutes. Because if you remember in the beginning of the season, he was starting, he was on fire from 3 point. I mean, we didn't have Max Strus, right? Tyson hadn't done what he'd done yet, so Merrill got a lot of early time in the season before he had some kind of injuries throughout the year. So yeah, I like what Sam brought a lot this year. I think his effort is through the roof. I as much as I love Sam, I still don't want him guarding. I still don't want him getting switched out on Jalen Brown. I don't want him getting switched out on Jason Tatum.
Oh well,
When and if we get to those guys,
nobody can
because
guard those guys. Come on, you could pick anybody on our team, and I wouldn't want
I
him guarding those guys.
I know, but they're just going to shoot right over the top of him, and he's not that good of a defender. I'd rather have Tyson getting in there, talking a little bit of trash and kind of pushing them around a little bit, right? And then yeah, I'd like the call of Jalen Tyson as well. I am interested to see what happens with him in the playoffs, because you're right. Once Harden came in, everything kind of changed. Before that, due to the injuries and really nobody else stepping off offensively, for a little while, Tyson was like the number two offensive option. It was Donovan, and it was him. Garland was hurt or either not performing. Mobley, same thing, either hurt or not performing, and nobody else was really doing anything. But this second half of the season, last 20 games or so, Tyson's kind of disappeared a bit in the rotation. He also was, he missed a couple games. I don't know how many games it was, but it was more than a couple. I mean, he missed probably almost 10 games due to whatever nagging injury he had. So I'll be interested to see how he gets used in the playoff rotation, especially with Strus coming back and looking pretty solid overall. I think Strus has been pretty good. There's just a lot of competition there. You have Merrill, you have Strus, you have Donovan, you have Harden, you have Schroeder, you have Ellis, you have Tyson. That's a lot of bodies competing for some minutes there. But I do hope that Atkinson finds a way to get Tyson some playoff experience because he needs to feel that to continue to evolve his game for sure.
Yeah. Oh, I like that you brought up Strus because the game that I went to was Strus's first game back,
Man,
and nobody knew, what number he was going to be wearing. We didn't know what to expect as far as performance, like how many minutes he was going to play. Was his shot going to be on or not? Just like, was he going to be kind of sluggish or was he going to be out of shape from not playing
right.
all season? And he came out and he was on fire and he was just lighting it up and hitting threes left and right. And he was wearing number 2,
Yep.
and I happened
Yep.
to be wearing my Kyrie Irving number 2 jersey at that
There you
game
go.
to
There you
support him.
go.
So yeah,
It was against the Mavericks, by the
I
way,
need some
folks.
tape though to put over the Irving and write Struce on it.
Yeah.
It could be my
Yeah.
new Struce jersey, but
There you go.
yeah, I
Yeah.
like the call out of Struce. Just he came right back onto the roster and he's been playing great and can't wait to see him in the playoffs.
He's had
Because
a couple big games. He's had a couple big games
oh yeah,
offensively. He's not going to do that every game, but man, this team has so many weapons, and Jalen had a great year as well, shooting behind the 3-point line. Right,
I
finished
feel
around
like I feel like I had
45%.
kind of written Struce off though, just because
Yeah,
last season he was so streaky.
he was.
Um, in this season, he's been really well. The few games we've seen him play in, he's been really solid and really dialed in. And I guess I didn't really think that he would really be much of an impact, even when he did come back, because he wasn't with the team all season. It's like, okay, how's he gonna fit? Is he gonna still be inconsistent and streaky anyway? Like, but after seeing
Absolutely.
this small sample size, I feel like, okay, well, shoot, maybe he'll start. I
Yeah,
don't know.
there's definitely rotational minutes for him, and yeah, I don't know if it'll be as a starter or not. I think another difference from last year's team is, you have James Harden here now as well. James Harden is one first and foremost a scorer, and I would say he's a more prolific scorer than what Garland was. To where Struess maybe had to be a little bit higher in last year's roster as far as like what option he was offensively, to where this year he could be the fourth option out there, depending on who he's out there with potentially. And Harden's going to find him as well. If he's open or coming off a pick and roll or something, like, coming off a screen, Harden's going to find him and he's going to have, lots of looks, lots of open looks, as well. And same with Sam Merrill, same with other guys as well. So it'll be interesting to see how Struess gets used, but I definitely expect him to be part of the rotation, to where Tyson is a little bit more of a question mark still. So with that being said, that's the regular season 2025-2026 in the books. The Cavs now move on to the first round playoffs. They will have a home court advantage, which is great. They are playing against the Toronto Raptors. This will be the fourth time that the Cavs will be matched up against the Toronto Raptors. And guess what, Alex? The
LeBron,
Raptors have never beaten the Cavs in a playoff
right?
series. And
That's
in
why I don't
all,
get why you're calling them the Toronto Raptors. They're clearly still the LeBronto Raptors.
we need a new nickname though for like
We
our
do,
current. We
yeah,
need a new nickname, but the Cavs got to prove it first. They got to
yeah.
prove
We
it.
got to sweep them.
We got to sweep them, right? But in the series that we played so far, the Raptors have only won two games out of the 12 that we've won. So hopefully the Cavs can continue that good fortune. I mean, they should be a heavily favorited in this series. Um, the Raptors did beat the Cavs all three times during the regular season. We were talking about that a little bit at work.
Yeah,
But that was before the trades.
it
That was before
was.
Harden was
It
here.
was
That was
back in
before Ellis.
October, November. It was like within the first 20
Yeah,
games of the season.
exactly.
Lonzo
Exactly.
Ball started two of those games for us. If we got Lonzo Ball in the starting lineup, then we probably ain't winning that game. Actually, you know what? I'd like to see the stats of how many games did we win when we had Lonzo Ball in the starting lineup.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
I bet he
Yeah.
didn't think he was going to catch any smoke in this Cavs episode, but he totally is.
Right, right. For sure, for sure. Yeah, so I mean, it's a much different Cavaliers team. We're healthy. At the same time, I mean, I want the Cavs to take every opponent seriously. They need to be dialed in. They need to be laser focused. No, no messing around. But the Cavs really should be able to take care of this series in 5 games or less. I would think that would be my prediction, Alex. What are
Yeah,
you thinking?
I think Cavs in five.
Yeah, I'll give the Raptors 1 game. When we're on the road, maybe, but I would love to see the Cavs sweep them, send a message, and get ready for the next round. If we look at the Toronto Raptors roster, Alex, there's not a ton of household names here. You have Scotty Barnes, Brandon Ingram, probably the two best well-known players
Yeah,
on the Raptors. You have R.J. Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly,
who's
and then
hurt?
is he hurt? Okay,
He Well, I saw he was going for an MRI the other day.
interesting.
I hadn't heard anything about what the results of that were or if he planned to return right away, but he does have a week to rest.
Okay, okay. And then yeah, it kind of drops off from there. You have Markel Fultz, you have Garrett Temple, and a couple other guys here. So just looking at depth alone,
Pirtle's
um,
pretty good center.
yeah, he's all right. I mean, I don't think this team, like I was going to talk about that. Both
Mhm.
Evan Mobley and Jared Allen should eat pretty well in this series. I totally expect Harden to just force feed the ball down to either one of them, whoever's in the game, because I don't think the Toronto Raptors have anybody that can really stop them. I mean, Scotty Barnes will match up with Mobley probably, and we'll see if Mobley, you know, decides that Scotty Barnes can become a brick wall and can't get past him.
Mhm.
But he should be able to with his quickness, or that's where he can use his shooting ability. And same with Jared Allen. Jared Allen should be able to fly around out there, catch alley oops, and just cause havoc out there, right? And if that happens, then everything becomes so much easier because then the three ball opens up for Harden, Mitchell, Merrill, Struess, Tyson, Thomas Bryant even should be out there, knocking down three. Like everything just falls in line if the bigs can get going early in this series for the Cavs. I feel like that's the key to this one.
You know what, Corey, I just don't like that team. I don't like that team at all.
I still see Kyle
If the
Lowry's face.
If the Cavs, yeah, Kyle Lowry.
I
If
still
the
see his
Cavs
face
had
every
this
time I see
roster,
that
like I
roster.
don't know if I could watch them. Like that's how
It's
much I don't like this roster, this team. Like
hey,
Scotty Barnes can't stand him. Never liked him.
hey. At the same time, man, they climbed up to the 5 seed.
Brandon Ingram just
So
makes me think Lakers. RJ Barrett makes me think New York Knicks.
yes,
Like,
yes, yes. Garrett Temple makes me think, how are you still in the league? He's been around forever. Um, yeah, it's one of those things where again, this should be a pretty lopsided um, series, but you never know, and that's where the Cavs have to approach this, with an intention of leading, leading. Be the aggressive one for once.
yeah,
Be the one to come out first, swing in. Don't wait for them to swing at you first, and then try to figure out how to react. And it really, I want the Cavs to have that mentality this entire playoff run. I think we've been fooled the last couple years, so I could understand the fans, especially the bandwagon fans, that are like, well, the Cavs aren't going to win a championship. What's the point? Or the last couple years, they can't even make it past the second round. Donovan Mitchell's never made it past the second round in his career. Blah blah blah. I think if you look at things and if you understand what's going on with both the team, the path that the Cavs have this year in the playoffs with Toronto and then most likely Detroit in the second round, the Cavs have a very good shot to make it past the second round into the Eastern Conference Finals this year.
hmm
You just can't mess around. They just gotta freaking just be the dog in every series and just take care of business and just make it happen. The
yeah.
Celtics are the Celtics. We'll deal with that when and if we get there, right? But man, it starts this Saturday 1 o'clock against the Toronto Raptors, and I'm freaking pumped.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. I can't wait.
So
Postseason's so exciting.
it is, and um, I last year I got real big into the playoffs and just like watching other teams and stuff like that. I don't always do that every year, and I'm just excited for playoff basketball just to be on like every night of the week here for the next couple weeks while the first round's going on. It'll be fun to check out some of their series and just see how some teams look. Um, One thing, Alex, on this game on Saturday, it's actually the first game in the entire playoff slate. 1 o'clock on Saturday. It's on Amazon Prime. It's not going to be on FanDuel. FanDuel isn't carrying the first round of the playoffs this year. And I also heard that the game will not be on cable television anywhere either for the folks that just have cable. So I don't know, Alex. We were talking about this before we started recording. We both have Prime, so we're covered for this first game. Don't know where game two is going to be, game three. Don't know where the next series is going to be. They haven't released all that information yet. But what's your thoughts on that? Do you kind of like, oh, that sucks that it's only on Prime and it's not on anything else local, or what's your thoughts there?
Yeah, I mean, I think it does suck. I think the whole broadcast rights for professional sports teams in general really sucks. Like,
Yeah.
we live in the Cleveland area. We should be able to watch our team easily. Like, it shouldn't be a challenge. We shouldn't have to subscribe to all these different things just to be able to watch our local team. So, I mean, yeah, the whole situation is horrible.
The,
Garbage dumpster fire.
the other thing that's kind of crazy is you can subscribe to a subscription service like Prime. Peacock was carrying games during the regular season, right?
Yeah,
And you could watch your local team, but you can't subscribe to NBA TV and watch your local team because they're
right.
blacked out.
Blackout rules. Yeah,
Explain that logic to me, right?
I have
So,
no idea.
yeah, I don't understand why we're trying to minimize the different ways that you can watch. But that's the deal that was made. That's the deal that Adam Silver made with these networks, these streaming services, and I don't know. I don't know. It's gonna be not gonna be happy, Alex, if we fall into a scenario where we no longer have a way to watch one of these games legally because I don't have the streaming service. You don't have the streaming service. Like, man, these are not games you want to watch on some crappy, streaming site,
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But I did want to call that out for folks that maybe weren't aware that it will only be on Prime at least this Saturday. We'll see what the rest of the schedule looks like. So, Alex, anything else on the Cavs Raptors series from your perspective?
No, I'm pretty confident that the Cavs will take this series. I don't know how many. I think it'll probably be in five. We'll see.
Are
I
you
just
are,
hope that they don't overlook them, like you said.
right? Are you, man? Playoff rotation. I
I
don't know.
have no idea.
No,
No
no
idea what
idea.
what Kenny could roll out so many different lineups.
I feel like I've said this the last couple years, and it feels like every NBA team does the same thing where they trim it down to 9 guys, right? Man, Kenny has 12 guys that could play easily, right? And you're at an advantage, in my opinion, if you have that many fresh bodies that you can just keep throwing at the other team, especially their best player. While Brandon Ingram's playing 30 plus minutes, throw three different defenders at him.
Yeah.
You know,
Put
it,
Jalen
it,
Tyson on him. Put Nae'Qwan Tomlin on him. Let
yep,
let these guys beat him up for
yep.
30
Let Thomas
minutes.
Bryant push him around out there.
Yeah.
Ingram's big, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
use your bodies. Do not shrink down to 9 guys and have someone like a Jalen Tyson not playing at all in a series, or a Max Struess, or there's so many good players that could
Yeah.
potentially not play at all, right?
And
Um,
and it also, helps your guys have keep fresh legs
exactly.
and hopefully prevent injury throughout these series. Once you start shrinking the roster like that, rotation and upping players' usage, that's when you start running into, guys getting tired. They need IVs on, after games, and yeah,
Yeah.
back to those days.
Deli.
Deli slamming a mug of coffee before the games
Right.
and an
Right.
IV bag just to play.
Yeah. So we'll be paying attention to that. We'll see what the rotation looks like, right? And it's a little bit of a chess match, right? You don't want to show your first card in that first game. I mean, he could do different things each game by all means, but I just hope that he doesn't resort to the standard of shrinking that roster down and just living and dying on that hill and then deciding to make a change when the series is tied up 2-2. Not Toronto, just any playoff series, right? Again, you have one of the deepest teams, especially now that you're healthy in the NBA. Use that to your advantage. Let Tomlin run around out there for 7 minutes in a game and just cause havoc. What's that going to hurt? While you give, one of your actual rotational players a few more extra minutes to rest, right? So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see for sure.
Yeah.
So Alex, you mentioned you went to a game a little while back. We're not really going to get into that. The Cavs got slaughtered by the Mavericks. You wore your Kyrie Irving jersey,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Hey, it was actually a close game up until the end, I thought.
It was.
It was a good game. They
Better
did not
than I
win.
saw against the Celtics. The Celtics slaughtered us.
Oh, yeah.
Um, and well, why don't you talk about this? Because you got some
Oh, the
Cavs.
contest,
Yeah,
yeah.
you got some Cavs gear from some of the contests that the Cavs run. And
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you real quick just to kick it off. So we both went to a game, and one of the contests that they do is the half court shot for $10,000. You have to sign up for that. It's free to sign up, and it's just a random drawing, and you get picked to shoot a half court shot at halftime in front of 20,000 people, right? The game that I went to, not a single person hit the hoop, the net, the rim, the
Mhm.
backboard, etc. What was it the same for you?
We had one person that hit, I don't know if they hit the rim, they for sure hit the backboard. It was actually somewhat close. But yeah, the 2 others, like, didn't even get it even close to the the hoop.
Anywhere close.
Yeah.
I know this isn't the contest that Alex I don't know if I want to say won, but got to be a part of. But I know you signed up for it.
I did sign up for it.
If you would have got chosen for the half court shot at some point, man, how do you think you would have how would you think you would have done? Like, would you be
I
like
I would for sure
shitting?
practice,
Where are you gonna
like,
go to
I would
practice? Where are you
I
gonna go
got a
to the
hoop in my front in my
are you
driveway,
gonna
man.
measure out? Are you gonna measure out? You
I
gonna
might
take
go
steps?
stand in the neighbor's driveway and shoot from there, but, like, I would definitely, like, make sure that I would at least get the distance, like, I would hit the backboard.
But in the heat of the moment, with all those people watching and the lights are kind of dim,
Oh,
like
yeah.
you think you'd be sweating bullets and
Oh,
just
man.
choke?
Drenched in sweat. Hands are probably so slick. Yeah.
Oh
Shaking,
man.
shaking uncontrollably with the ball.
Oh my god.
Maybe I would
It,
come up short, I don't know.
it's too bad that's not the contest you get to talk about today. Here's hoping that in the future someday, Alex, you get to do that so we
You know,
can
when I
we
when
can
I
see
first got the email, I thought it was that contest,
that.
and I was like, "Oh, no, why did I sign up for this?"
Right.
Because it was the contest that I actually got into was the Sherwin Williams Sure Shot contest,
Yes. Yes.
which I wish I had pulled up the rules in front of me, but
I could spit some rules real quick. It's basically the Cavs have to make a shot, the last shot before halftime for
yeah,
you to win. If they make a 2-pointer, then you get 2 tickets to an upcoming Cavs game. If they make a 3-pointer, you get $1,000.
that's
And
it.
if they don't make a basket at all, you get some gear, like a
Right.
shirt, hat, whatever, and then Alex, I'll kick it back to you.
Yeah. Yeah, so I can't remember which game it was, but the Cavs, like, I'm trying to find. I wasn't home, so I couldn't even watch the game, but I was like kept checking my phone and looking at like, okay, what was the last play before halftime? And I saw like the Cavs had the ball, they're getting down court, Cavs turn it over. And I'm like, well, what the hell is that?
Right, right.
That sucks. Like they're not even gonna take a shot before halftime. And I don't know. I was like, I don't know what you get for a turnover. I probably got nothing. And then like a week goes by, and I figured, oh, I probably got nothing. And then I get an email saying, thanks for playing the Sherwin Williams Sure Shot contest. We're gonna send you a box of merchandise, right? Um, so I got that box here with me. I have not opened it yet. I
Unboxing
did cut it.
time.
I am gonna do an unboxing from the Sherwin Williams Sure Shot
It's a
contest.
good sized box there. That's definitely just more
Yeah,
than like a
it's
shirt. It's a solid
pretty.
sized box. I'm curious to see what else is thrown in there.
All right, let's take a look. I'm expecting like some stuff with Sherwin Williams printed all over it.
Yeah.
Uh, so I got a hat.
Is that yellow or orange?
It's the it's
Is it
the
orange?
it's that tangerine that are the city edition jerseys.
Okay. What does it say?
It's just got a big Cav C on it. Oh, it's got a
Oh,
Sherwin Williams
there's
logo.
the Sherwin Williams logo. Yep. Okay.
All
Okay.
right, what else we
Off
got?
to a good start though. Got a hat.
And a shirt. So we got a hat and a shirt here.
It's a big box for just those two. Dang.
Let's see. Big C, big Cav C, and a Sherwin Williams logo on the sleeve.
What? So for those listening, it's a white tee with just the Cavs logo on it. Sherwin Williams on the sleeve. What size did they send you? That's always interesting.
It's an XL.
Can you rock that, or is it too big?
Um,
Maybe around the house. Probably not out.
yeah, it does seem a little big. It
Maybe it'll
might
shrink when you
shrink.
wash it.
Yeah, it'll work as a like an undershirt or something too, since it's white.
Yeah.
I could probably wear it like, I don't know, maybe I could wear it under a jersey or under a polo to work or something. Who knows?
Right.
But
Right.
yeah, I got this tangerine hat and a big Cavs C shirt.
That tangerine hat will be good to do yard work in, Alex. I'm sure you'll get some looks as you're blinding your neighbors with your hat.
They'll be like, "Why is your Cavs jersey tangerine?"
Right.
I'll be like, "Didn't you see the city edition jerseys this year?"
Exactly. Exactly. But pretty cool that Alex, you signed up for that and got chosen for that. And the Cavs do that all through the regular season, right? But you said before recording, you noticed that they now have a different set of contests
Yeah. So
for
if
the
you go
playoffs.
to nba.com/Cavaliers/contests, you can see all the contests the Cavs are running throughout the season. There's a dozen. Right now, it looks like I just saw 3 or 4, but you could win playoff tickets. What else is there?
Half court shot at the NBA Finals? No?
Defend the land sweeps for a chance to win 2 tickets to the next home playoff game. A chance to win 2
Nice.
playoff tickets to round 1, game 2. Free Cavs rewards, blah blah blah. Win a trip for 2 to an away playoff game.
Okay.
And yeah, the 10,000 half court contest.
Oh, so they're still doing that. All right.
And a Key Bank Cavs pick'em, $1,000 in cash.
I've seen
to
that
the
done. I've
to
seen
the
that done
overall
during halftime shows. That's pretty
winner.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
So yeah,
Alex, we got to get you on there, man. We got to sign you up. Start making fake email accounts. I want 100 signups for the half court shot.
yeah.
We're gonna make it happen.
I'll have to sign up for these. Come back to this page and sign up for these contests. I never really did it before. Like I
Yeah,
always see it advertised, like during the games, they'll say,
yeah,
scan this QR code and enter this contest, but I never really pay much attention to it. But
yeah. You
yeah,
got
I'm
me.
glad I did this one.
Yeah, that's really cool. You got me to sign up for them after you told me about it.
Even free gear, even if it's got some company logo on it, it's pretty cool to get. So
Yeah, definitely.
thank you, Sherman Williams. Thank you, Cavs.
There you go. All right. Well, Alex, anything else
Yeah,
before we wrap
actually,
up?
I did
What you
think of one
got?
more thing to bring up.
What you got?
Is it Netflix? Is it Hulu? Some streaming service, they do the undercover. The undercover, you know what I'm talking about? Where they just had a previous episode with Baker Mayfield where he goes undercover as like an old guy, and they did like a tour through like the Browns stadium and
Johnny Manziel would have been a better pick. It would have been more natural if it was Johnny
yeah,
Manziel going undercover, but
well, Money
go
Manziel.
go go on.
Yeah, but anyway, they just did an episode with Donovan Mitchell.
Oh.
And it was where they put him in like a fat suit and made him look old and gave him a gray beard, and
Mhm.
he he basically acted like he was some old inner city coach that was going to this coaching workshop in Lakewood. And so he sat through like all this, like learn how to coach youth athletic basketball teams. And it was really good. It was funny. Like he was being such a like crazy character, and he chose the name Peanut Waterloo. Coach Waterloo. It was hilarious. It was a really entertaining episode. So look
I
up
can see
Undercover.
yeah, I could see Donovan pulling that off. He's just got such charisma and
Yeah, he really does. It was really funny. He was being real, like, kind of boisterous and getting comment. He worked out this whole backstory about how he was a basketball player when he was a little kid, and he had a coach that he really hated that coach, and it made him not want to play basketball anymore. So he became a boxer, and this whole backstory is like telling these people. Everybody's
that's awesome.
buying it. It was so funny.
That's awesome.
And then at
But it,
the end, they're doing drills and they're watching kids like shoot baskets, and they started doing a coaches versus
players.
youth players,
Mhm.
and the kids are shooting the threes, and then the coaches are shooting the threes, and I think the kids are winning. And then Donovan Mitchell goes out there and just
It just
starts
splashed.
nailing threes. He's doing like crossover, step
Mhm.
back, jacking threes, and everybody's like watching, like, what the hell is this old Peanut Waterloo doing?
That's hilarious. I'll have
Yeah,
to
it
look
was
that
so
up.
funny.
So
Yeah,
it's
you gotta
called
look it up.
Undercover?
I think it's called Undercover.
All right. I bet you if you Google Undercover Donovan Mitchell, I'm
Maybe I
sure
maybe I
something
should
will pop
Google
up.
it before we tell everybody the wrong thing here.
Right.
Donovan Mitchell under. Hopefully my typing doesn't come through the audio real loud. Donovan, yeah, it's hosted by Eli Manning. It's called The Undercovers, and it
Okay.
looks like it's on Amazon Prime.
Back to Prime again. All
There you
right.
go.
Well, during halftime on Saturday, you can go check out Donovan Mitchell as an undercover fat
Peanut
coach.
Waterloo.
Peter Waterloo. That's a great
Yeah,
name. That's a great name. That's awesome.
that's all I got.
That's a great way to end the episode. So let's go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you, Cavs fans, as always, for tuning in and listening. And Alex, let them know they can follow us and connect with us.
Follow us on X at Cavs Pick and Roll. Shoot us an email, cavspickandroll@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr. Watch this episode on YouTube to see my unboxing. And that is all.
All right, Cavs fans, there it is. And let's go, Cavs.
Peace out, Cavs fans.